So he says in the next verse, he brings in, we saw this very beautiful idea of yajna. Yajnarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. So this idea of yajna, I had explained a little bit. I will go into a bit more because it is a very, very beautiful concept from the Upanishad times, the action as offering, because it sees the world as divinity. The whole Jagat is divine. The whole Jagat becomes your altar of worship. Bhagavan says in a very, very beautiful verse, very famous verse in the 9th chapter, Yat karoshi yat ashnashi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, O Arjuna, whatever you eat, whatever you offer to me, whatever you offer, whatever you give to others in the form of gifts, and whatever austerities or disciplines you do in your life, O Arjuna, do them all as offering to me. So basically, Bhagavan is saying, even from the basic eating habit, eating anything, from basic eating to everything, all the actions in your life, yat karoshi, whatever karoshi, everything you do it as an expression of gratitude. This attitude of gratitude is brought in here with this word yajna. And this is very much, and I didn't talk about it in the last class, and I want to go over it. This is very much in our Vedic culture. It comes from Vedic times. There is a specific way of life that is prescribed in the Veda. It is called Panchamahayajna, the 5-fold sacrifices. All human beings are asked to make these sacrifices. It is called sacrifice, but it is worship. It is offering, actually. Panchamahayajna, there are 5-fold here. The first one is Deva Yajna. So Deva Yajna means daily one has to bring a certain religious activity into one's life, even lighting a lamp, having an altar. Again, it doesn't matter what religion one is, one can do according to one's own tradition, one's own culture. It doesn't specify a particular altar of worship. It is just bringing in that attitude of gratitude for all that's given in life. You can apply it to any tradition, any culture, but at least 5 minutes a day, it says, Deva Yajna, devote yourself to offering this gratitude to what has been given to you in your life by the Devas, by the gods that be, or by Ishvara. We'll see that very important concept in our Vedic scriptures. It comes in the next verses. The next offering that a human being has to do is Brahma Yajna or Rishi Yajna, offering worship to the scriptures or this knowledge that has been coming for thousands and thousands of years. These rishis have given it for free and it's been flowing down like the Ganges flows. This knowledge is often compared to the Ganga, river Ganga, which is always in constant flow. You never see it stagnant. It is like this, it flows for thousands of years. Where does it flow from? Originally from Bhagavan himself, from Ishvara, that's what it said. All the human beings are just mediums for that flow to pass through. That flow of knowledge, we offer the line of all those human beings who have transmitted the knowledge through generation after generation. How do we offer gratitude to them? It like at least 5 minutes, studying something daily, chanting like we do, Vishnu Sahasranam daily, as we've made a sankalpa to do that, that even that chanting daily is Brahma Yajna, Rishi Yajna, offering gratitude for all this knowledge and all these mantras and shlokas that have come down the ages, reading a Gita chapter, something like that. So in the Taittiriya, in the Upanishad, it's said very clearly, one lives life. Swadhyaya pravachanechha means studying and teaching, sharing. So it is not just studying for one's own self. The sharing is also important. Even if you share with your family members, somebody there who is interested. Of course, don't preach Bhagavad Gita to people who are not interested. No, if somebody asks a question, definitely you can share what you have learned as well, and it may help that person in their life. Swadhyaya pravachanechha, the Upanishad actually prescribes that. And the next yajna, the third yajna that everybody has to do in their life, it is a Pitru yajna. Who got me here? Who made me? Who has given me everything that I'm sitting here right now? And I am who I am. My ancestors, very important in the Vedic culture to acknowledge ancestors as well. So worship of ancestors. And we have that in all cultures. We don't just have it in Vedic culture. I'm sure in every culture, even we can say Mother's Day, Father's Day, all of this is actually acknowledging gratitude for your ancestors or gratitude towards your parents, all who have helped you make you who you are today. So it is very important that that gratitude is also offered. And if they're no longer here, even going to their graveside, offering flowers, something like that, a little thing. We have, even in our Hindu calendar, we have a Pitru Paksha, we have a time period where we offer this gratitude to the ancestors, part of the Hindu culture as well. But this is a day-to-day thing that should be done. So Pitru Yajna is the third Mahayajna. Then you have the most popular Yajna, Manushya Yajna, which everybody does in their own way, which is the social service, charitable actions, any reaching out activities, helping others, donations, all of this. So service to man. Service to man is very, very important. And I'm sure everybody in their own way does type of service. But little do we know that all the other yajnas also need to be done. Most people concentrate only on this. But our Vedic lifestyle is that all five have equal importance. We cannot neglect the other four and only concentrate on this. Definitely, we have to help our fellow men. We have to do whatever we can to alleviate any type of suffering. That is part of our culture as well. But don't neglect the others to do that. So Manushya Yajna is the fourth type of yajna. And the last yajna, which is also very important, neglected, and that is why we're having all these changes in the environment, Bhuta Yajna. Vedic culture was one of environmental conservation, is one of environmental protection. So tree planting, animal sanctuaries, reverence for nature. Nature is no ordinary thing. It is that is what Bhagavan is going to say in the next few verses. We have actually gods, Adhishtana Devatas. We have gods, presiding gods of nature. Whole of Vedic culture is nature worship, actually. The suktams that we chant, all the suktams, they all have these gods of nature. Because if nature is not benign towards us, we cannot live our lives well. And this is what we see happening because we have neglected to propitiate the gods. Krishna talks about that in the next verse. What will happen if we neglect offering gratitude to what nature has given us? Then we will suffer in different ways as well. So here, Bhuta Yajna becomes very, very important. It is environmental conservation, protection. And you see how much is given. Trees, how lucky, blessed we are that we breathe out carbon dioxide and they give us oxygen in return. Amazing. They produce oxygen for our survival. Did we create this? No, it is given. There is some super intelligence that has made our lives possible because of this. They absorb I read also there's some trees in London that actually absorb pollutants in the air. The pollution of the cars, they absorb in the bark and they clean the air for us. How wonderful, how selfless can we get? That is why we have to give back. They may not have the voices to say, don't cut me, don't hurt me, but we have to understand that we cannot abuse doing Bhuta Yajna, we cannot abuse the planet. The fruits, there's a beautiful subhashitam or a saying in Sanskrit, which talks about how one should be like things in the nature. I will chant it. It's a very beautiful one. It says, Paropakaraya phalanti vrikshaha. Trees give fruits for the sake of everyone else, not for themselves. They don't consume their own fruit. Paropakaraya vahanti nadyaha. Nadyaha, sanadyaha. Paropakaraya vahanti nadyaha. Rivers flow for the sake of others. Rivers flow so their waters are used for the sake of others. Paropakaraya duhanti gavaha. Cows give milk for the sake of us, for us to drink. For our nourishment, cows give milk. They don't drink their own milk. Paropakarartamidam shariram. In the same way, this body is not for my sake. This body is for the sake of others. This is something which our Vedic culture is very much for, that our lives are not just for our sakes, our lives are for the sake of others as well. And when I live this contributive, this expansive existence, in fact, I will discover real happiness inside. We don't realize, we think by gaining just for ourselves, we will be happy. But Vedic culture is that the more I give, the happier I will be. The more I give, in fact, the more I receive in the end. So everything, we saw this last time, the whole Jagat is a cosmic dance depicted, as Swami Dayananda beautifully said, the Lord Nataraja, the Lord Shiva in the form of the dancing Lord. He is dancing different orders in this universe. And we are all part of his big grand dance, this constant motion, coming and going of all these things that we see in creation, all the situations we have to face. So every moment of our lives is dynamic. So niyati, this is what is the niyati, this live in life in harmony with this order. That is what he's saying. Live life in harmony. Don't, as we saw last time, abuse or misuse your free will. Don't abuse or disuse your free will. You have to use it wisely. Read your script on the stage. Even if it's a very, very small script you have to play, a role you have to play in the drama, you can still play it well. Even if it's just you have to come on stage and cough and then exit. Cough well. Yes, it doesn't matter what role we have to play in life, but do it well. If you start chatting on stage when your role is just to cough, then you ruin the whole drama. So this is the idea that we're all connected, interconnected, playing this grand yajna. We're all joined together, playing this grand yajna of life. Nobody is defunct or redundant in this. We saw this in this yajna. Everybody has a meaning to their lives, and everybody has a role to life. And yajnartham karma, do your this karma as an offering to Ishvara. We saw this idea last time that life is the puja, life is the worship, that the altar is the world. It is not limited to a room or a place in your house. It is the whole world that is the puja. So make your office a temple of worship. Why not? Even when you write a report, offer it to Ishvara before you submit the report. That is a puja to Ishvara. So everything I bring in this attitude of Ishvara Prasada Buddhi. It is very, very, very beautiful when one starts living like that. And Bhagavan says, if you don't live like that, then you suffer because of karma. It becomes a bondage for you. You become bound by the results, because when you don't live this idea of offering and prasadam, of receiving what comes as from the divine, from the supreme, then what happens? Then you go up and down in life with all the stress and strains, therapies, nervous breakdowns, all because this karma yoga lifestyle is not lived, and you just live because you want the results. So when things don't go your way, nervous breakdown, that's it. You know, we see so many of these things happening in this modern age precisely because this idea that I am in control is, at play. This idea that I control all the factors in my life, I control all the situations in my life, this is what creates our problems in life. And Bhagavan is saying, no, oh man, you are not in as much control as you think you are. Definitely you have power to act, but what comes to you is me. It is my will. It is my blessing. Everything is prasadam. And with this, tadartham karma kuru samachara, do your actions as worship unto me. Mukta sangha samachara. Bhagavan repeats again and again. That's why I'm repeating. It's very, very important. Don't expect anything in return, meaning don't expect things to go your way all the time. They will go your way sometimes, but I will decide according to your karma package that you have come with in this life. what you get, when you get, and that is up to me.